The Daily Guide.
I have the Daily Guide and the Metro Lens. It says that these are the lead stories. Igbo community disowned the so-called king. GHLII calls for open access to law. NDC bigwigs hot over Galamsey. 2 arrested for posing as gold board tax force, and Parliament passes the fisheries bill. This whole thing about Galamsey, sometimes the least said about them, the better. I just feel that we are just playing with this thing.
We're joking with Galamsey.
Yeah, that's it.
And we need to get serious in this country. Yesterday, one of my seniors from Mali School reached out to me. He was so worried. And his concern, he said, look, my brother, we cannot stop talking about Galamsey. And I agreed with him. Why? Why is it that all of a sudden we think it's all right because there's a change in government? Look, I am not interested in the regular, only tax force people should. What I am interested in is to arrest the people who are engaged in Galamsey.
Yeah.
And here, I am not interested in, listen to this, I am not interested in that guy who's just digging.
Yeah.
Because
the bigwigs.
Because if you arrest him, another person will come and dig.
The president or chief executive of the Ghana for the Private Enterprise Federation, was making an argument on PM Express the other time about more of a shoot to kill policy. He says that when you're caught in doing that, the person should be shot. That's all. That's what he's saying.
Those who are engaged in legal mining, we cannot pretend that we don't know them. Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin, Speaker of Ghana's Parliament, sat in Parliament and told all of us that he knows some of the MPs are engaged in illegal mining. If I had said that, I would have been invited by the police. If I, when Senamo had said that I know MPs who are engaged in Galamsey, I would have been invited.
Privileges, or was it?
First of all, the privileges, other tax force, they would invite me. I am waiting for the invitation of the speaker so we can grab all those people who are involved in it. Look, this is what the government seeks to be doing. The same approach the government said was being used that wasn't working is the same thing the government is doing. Go and arrest them. You go and arrest them. Recently, Rastos reported that the forest reserve that they went there, arrested, when they went back, people were there mining again. So, why is it so difficult for us to actually declare a state of emergency? All of us said there should be the declaration of a state of emergency. When the NPP was in government, why can't we declare the state of emergency now? So that if you are seen there, you are flouting the state of emergency. So we deal with you. And these people hold guns. As for me, they hold guns. One of my friends who is a customs official, one day was going to one of the border towns, and they had actually mounted a roadblock. Illegal miners. They stopped him. The guy was holding a rifle, which the guy said it was an AK-47. So with his pistol, he just had to hide it, because if they had seen it, they would have dealt with him. Now, are we saying that we do not know what this is about? Let me tell you what would surprise you, George. Somebody within the security apparatus told me that there's actually a technology that can jump a whole area. So when they are coming there, you cannot make calls, nothing. So once you're there, you'll be arrested. Why are we not using it? And I mean, where is the investigations? Where are the investigations? Enough of the everyday. We've arrested 10, we've seized. Okay. Rhetorics. I want an end to it, and I want to see how we're dealing with the brains behind illegal mining. The declaration of a state of emergency is key, so that those who flout it are dealt with accordingly. And I tell you, look, this is worse than terrorism. So if that is the case, if somebody is destroying our water body, making sure that we are born with all these deformities, if you grab him and he's firing back and you shoot him and you kill him, I don't have a problem with that. But if he's not firing, you take him there. But some of them actually hold guns. Right, see, let's get to other stories. I'll come back to Galamsey because we're not done yet. We're not done yet with the illegal mining. Any more stories?
Still there's a story that says the two arrested for posing as Gold Board task force, and the story by Prince Fifi York says that the Western Central Regional Command has arrested two persons for extorting and impersonating personnel of the Ghana Gold Board. The two suspects, Foster Donald and 40, and Prince Wovi, age 39, who claimed to be ex-military officials, were arrested following a complaint received by the police that they were visiting different gold buyers claiming to be officials of the Gold Board task force. Sami Jimfi is one semper.
Let's get into the Ghanaian Times. And it says that no power outage, energy minister and CEO of Adams Resources Limited denies fraud allegation. Fight against illegal mining giving impetus. AG directs Iyoko to investigate individuals involved. And Kijitia Market Project give displaced traders first. President Mahama directs. And then the back page, no teacher should retire homeless. And that's Haruna Idrisu. Now, I'll just read a bit. It says the Minister of Education has called for immediate development of a national housing scheme to address the long-standing accommodation challenges facing teachers across the country, especially those in rural areas. According to him, many teachers live in poor conditions, often without access to decent accommodation, which undermines their dignity and affects their motivation and retention in the teaching profession. I say, beyond teachers, how do we ensure that people who retire, having served this country, you don't see, not everybody can build a house. Let that sink. Let us not pretend everybody should build a house. Okay? So for those who cannot build, how do we introduce affordable schemes so that even in retirement, in other jurisdictions, see, our national housing policy says that nobody should spend more than 30%. An affordable house is where you don't have to spend 30%, more than 30% of your salary in renting or the acquisition of a home, if you're saying
the mortgage financing bit here.
Yeah. Now, if you have to spend more, or if that 30% of your income cannot support it, then there's the need for the introduction of a scheme to support you.
Yeah.
How are we supporting these people? So let's get it. I mean, sometimes we talk about everybody must own a house, please. How do we ensure that for the people who cannot build houses or cannot buy, the state is able to cushion these persons so they can rent and live in them? I mean, how are we ensuring that there are affordable schemes that somebody can go in? So after the person passes on, post-retirement or whatever, then that house reverts to the state, okay, and then the state can give it to the next person who needs it. Because if you build affordable houses and you are taking dollars, even affordable houses, look, we built Saglimi, 1,500, it was 1,462 or so, for 200 million. How in God's name are you going to be able to afford that? Even those of us who are deemed as middle class in this country, how do you afford that? How do you afford that? So that's where the problems are. And if government is providing land, how can government provide land and still have, houses built that cost more than $100,000 flats?
I think we need to do more. Some would say it's a call or a push to ensure that every worker in this country, the system, the service conditions and all the rest, so that we can all indeed retire really on something good and go home on a very good package. You don't need to.
Exactly, George. And so in the month of August, that's the Joy Sustainability Month. And our focus will also be on housing, building sustainable and affordable housing. One of the conversations we'll have as part of the Joy Sustainability Month, which is being powered by Joy Business, because we need to move on. Look, I'll come back to this. Let's continue with the papers.
Well, the Metro Line has IGP who submits report on 2020 elections, 2024 elections related killings and violence. NHIA rejects 1,644 and the Cliffy, that is for the universal health coverage as well. Over 20 trapped and 4 dead in Achimwenchi Galamsey pit collapsing. When the total driver runs into Akufo-Addo's house, 3 injured. Interesting stories. Then a very good morning to Professor Peter Cote, Director of Issa, have a great day, Prof.
Yeah, there's a program this morning that this afternoon that I have to.
Yeah, moderating, right?
I'm not moderating. I am not moderating.
Oh, okay.
I am one of the panelists, please. I'm not moderating. I'm one of the panelists.
Yeah.
Don't let Jerry look for me this morning.
And Professor Peter Kote will be there, actually.
Of course, he'll be there. I'll see him. Anyway, the overseer this morning says ADBMD Lord's Government's Feed Ghana initiative and Sukbaru backs AG's directive to probe NDC officials over Galamsey, GRNMA, and government make headway as 3 out of 4 allowances will be captured in mid-year budget, and Okoye to bow out of upcoming Akwetia by-election. That's according to family sources. We're reforming ECG, not selling it, John Jinapo. And stop photocopying Ghana cards for verification, NIA to institutions.
We understand they need to pay for that system that they can access. So once, if you walk into my institution and I need to verify, just take your thumbprint and that is it. There are institutions who say that, oh, you don't have your card, so we can't do the transaction. Get pay and get access to that platform that can let you independently verify whether this person is indeed Winston Amwa.
Great. So let's get into the online news review now. And myjoyonline.com this morning, top story. Akufo-Addo's government did very well in handling the economy. That's according to Freddie Wasmewu Blay. OSP declares former finance ministry advisor wanted over SML corruption probe. Government will restore Bokunaba statue, Defense Minister Omani Boama, and see areas that will be affected by ECG's planned maintenance on July 7th. So get onto myjoyonline.com. And citynewsroom.com says, the top story this morning says, OSP charges Mustafa Hamid 9 others in 280 million scandal. GSS to businesses, cut prices, innovate, and pass savings to consumers. And Kwachufusu dismisses minorities' call for probe into Ablekuma North violence. Why not? There's a need to probe it and learn lessons from it. The BBC, CNN's website this morning says, dozens killed as massive fire rips through a multi-story commercial building in eastern Iraq. Okay, which means we can get into the details of the papers now. And let me start with the Ghanaian Times. And page 12 this morning says, no power outages, Energy Minister. So Ghana will not face power outages again due to the progress made by the Electricity Company of Ghana. The Minister of Energy and Green Transition, John Abdullah Jinapo, was assured. He said ongoing reforms, including the replacement of faulty transformers, new billing systems, and efforts to clean up contracts and procurement processes, had stabilized electricity supply in the country. And I'm looking for the attribution, and this is where it says, the persistent and erratic power outages that had plagued the country when we assumed office have seen remarkable improvement, and you can attest to the fact that we are now experiencing reliable, uninterrupted power supply. Okay, so
the other time the president or the chief executive of the Private Enterprise Federation and Nana Sebonsu was on PM Express, he thought that, or he was arguing that businesses are still having challenges with power supply, and the whole argument that Dumso is over, according to him, that is not the situation on the ground.
You know, when I had a conversation with the David Fosudote on the as part of the Accra Speaker series, the Speaker series, he told us that, look, he's surprised that a country that seeks to industrialize is complaining about 6,000 megawatts of power. 6,000 megawatts of power is what has, gotten us complaining about take or pay. Instead of the country putting in place measures to ensure that people can actually use the power that we generate. But this morning also, you know that yesterday, the energy sector levy, the 1 Ghana cedi, the increase took effect.
Yeah.
But I just want you to listen to this. Just listen to what the Minister of Energy and Green Transition said in Parliament at the time that it was being introduced. Listen to this.
On this note, and on this auspicious note, let me make it clear that irrespective of the 1 cedi, we are not going to see an increase in the price of pump price at the petroleum sector. It is only an intelligent government that can do this.
Winston, do you know what I remember?
What do you remember?
When e-levy was introduced, and we were made to understand that areas some problems in now will be solved because of e-levy.
I remember that too. But my interest again is on this.
On this note, and on this auspicious note, let me make it clear that irrespective of the 1 cedi, we are not going to see an increase in the price of pump price at the petroleum sector. It is only an intelligent government that can do this.
What did we experience yesterday?
It went up by almost 10%, and even the forecast indicates that we could be paying more in the next pricing window. The deputy ranking on the Economic and Development Committee, Kojo Nkrumah, was arguing that it is rather to address a revenue shortfall. That is what he claims, rather than dealing with the challenge of buying liquid fuel for the power sector and addressing the debt in the sector. Because don't forget that there was already a 95 pesos being paid for this energy sector recovery levy thing. So now we are paying 1 cedi 95 pesos.
See, my only problem is that if you say you're going to use that to buy liquid fuels, let people pay right prices for electricity. It's as simple as that. So I know that if I don't, consume, I do not pay. But if I have to pay, because for those of us who drive all the time, so we are paying so that we go and use it to support us.
People are worried about the impact on this on inflation. If we don't see a significant drop in food prices to douse this impact, then this could even reverse some of the gains that we've made in terms of prices stabilizing and all those things.